here after that last game. Kind of got smashed, but we're starting the game off in the very best way possible with a pause. So that's a little bit rough, but Curse is just like, no, we're getting DDoS at the beginning of the game. Oh, wait, actually, no, we're ready to go. Just kidding. Troll pauses troll. And so apparently some issues that weren't actually issues. And we are back into the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just now joining us, I am Rapid. With me is the fourth Oracle. And we will be bringing you game 3 here between Fear and Curse here in NESL's coverage of the IEM Cologne qualifiers. This is the first round. There's 2 more after this before we decide which of the top 2 teams will advance on to IEM Cologne itself. So thanks for watching. If you guys are excited for this match, or as excited as I am, then I guess we're really pumped and we'll get this underway. Looks like we're going to have a really strong early invade here by Curse. They're just running straight into the jungle, and we have 394 move speed here using the initiator from Masteries, and then also move speed quiz to grab that super move speed, allowing Maokai just to zoom on in there even though he only has one
there's
speed.
The apprehend on Muffin Cutie. Ignite has been burnt, but no, they're not doing anything. There's the grasping roots, but I don't think Fear is going to be able to make a play off of this one as well. If only a couple more members of Curse were a little bit closer, they may have been able to pick up first blood on Muffin Cutie, but as it stands, first blood not going out on either side. That being said, Muffin Cutie forced to burn his flash, and we see Elements not going to have his ignite, so those early roaming ganks are not going to be quite as strong as they would be otherwise.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. We do need speed back up to live. It always screws up the timing whenever you do hit a pause. So back up to live we are and ready to go. So no deaths, no kills early on. But like you said, those summoners down, making a little bit of a difference. And, well, I mean, we'll see exactly how much of a difference those do make. I mean, usually the early roaming ganks don't usually result in the use of a summoner unless you're just going super ridiculously hard in onto, well, wherever you want to go. But it does look like we're going to see maybe Cop and Elements in the bottom lane on Sin support with a, I guess Corki in lane. This is just really weird to see in Voyboy going mid. I'm not even sure who's going to which lanes now. It looks like we're going to have a lot of roaming from Curse no matter who goes where, but it's kind of see the team kind of trying out some new team positions here without NY Jackie, or Night Jackie rather, to hold everybody together. But you can see Westrice in there trying to get that red buff away. He does not. Smithy's going to take that, so good guy Smithy, or scumbag if you're on Curse, and now Zuna's just going to walk away as well.
Yeah, red buff being applied to Voyboy. He did decide to take Smithy did decide to take Consume first, so he's not really able to do anything to Voyboy there. Of course, Elements was there to turn that around in case anything really ugly happened. So right now it looks like he may actually be moving down into the mid lane. Curse is just completely playing with this. You cannot think about things in traditional roles against Curse anymore, apparently. Ooh, there's the resonating strike on Aframu, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to do a whole lot with it. Cop getting snared, and he is going to get chunked down to half health. Elements a bit low as well. Elements going to stick around just for a little while. I think Cop is really going to have his work cut out for him in this duo lane. We saw that usually Curse sends the AD carry mid, so it's a one-on-one, but Cop is going to have a two-on-one on his hands, or I guess fins in this case.
Well, it's half hands, half fins, although one's occupied with flying and holding spatulas, the other is holding a giant machine gun. So, whichever's most effective. But top lane, it looks like St. Vicious just waiting here for a gank. Zuna standing completely still there for a while. He knows he cannot push up, and this is really great game sense here from Zuna. He realizes this is the gank timing. It's in between 3 and 4 minutes, and you really can't go up there. He's just CSing or trying to CS there with his Vorpal Blade, but definitely being as careful as humanly possible. And here comes in the Twisted Advance.
Oh, a nice shout to dash out, but there is the flash and apprehend. Zuna has Ignite being burnt on him. Will they be able to pick it up? Smithy is just around the corner. No, they're not going to be able to do it, even with Hemorrhage and Ignite ticking. We see Aframu and Muffin Cutie pushing down this bottom tower very, very hard. But so are St. Vicious and Westrice. No, Westrice is going to decide to back. He has about 317 gold in his pocket. Probably just going to buy a ward and a couple of health potions there.
Yeah, I think that's something to note about this early game is that, like you said, those ignites burned early on, and now top lane Westrice is without both flash and ignite. So St. Vicious actually only has smite down, which is a little bit more understandable. It has his flash up, so still St. Vicious going to be able to go for a lot more aggressive ganks, but Westrice, without either one of his summoners, is going to have a really rough time against the perma slow from Smithy and then the taunt coming out from Zuna. So it's actually a little bit vulnerable, and going into that bottom tri-brush, wow, they could have jumped on him there, but Smithy actually speeding himself down here here. Gonna get caught out here. Oh my goodness, he's in a horrible position.
Yeah, absolutely. The Twisted Advance goes out. There's the barrel roll, flashes away. Apprehend misses, but I don't think it's going to matter. Wall of Pain comes out, but nope. First blood going to Voyboy. Of all the people that could have gotten first blood, you don't want it to go on to Gragas.
And double buffs. He fed double buffs to Gragas.
Oh no, that is going to be very hard for Mandatory Cloud. Voyboy now has the capability to just keep using his passive to give him health over and over again. Plus, he has red buff to slow down Mandatory Cloud. Mandatory Cloud is going to have to make sure he doesn't waste that Wall of Pain. It's on a fairly long cooldown. It's on 17.20 seconds. And there's the flash in.
Oh, the counter flash
from Mandatory Cloud. That was so close. Meantime, in the bot lane, St. Vicious moving into the Tri-Brush. And now, yep, it looks like Mandatory Cloud not confident enough to even farm that close to his tower. Going to just take Wolves, then move back over to his lane. That's the advantage of Karthus, is even if you're not doing so well, you can just farm. But here comes St. Vicious. Flash, snare in. Aphromoo flashes out, but Cop is in there as well. Exhaust comes out from Muffin Cutie. Aphromoo is still going to fall. Nonetheless, St. Vicious going to pick up that kill. A Cathian surprise all over his face. But no, he is going to be okay. He has a tree. His bark is too tough. In the meantime, mid lane, Voyboy jumping on Mandatory Cloud. There's the exhaust coming out, but it might not be enough. X-Smithy throwing the Ice Blast, but no, Voyboy picking up that kill with the explosive cast. Now X-Smithy might be able to get this on Voyboy. Yes, there is the last auto attack. That red buff and Ice Blast really doing work. Now down in the bot lane, Muffin Cutie forced to burn his flash to get out of that bad situation. Elements looking to see if Muffin Cutie is recalling just a little bit too far away from tower, but no, he's just going to help Cop push this lane up, and we may be seeing him going around and ganking other lanes at this point.
Well, you know, you ever have that feeling where somebody just like walks up to you and like grabs your coat or your purse or something, runs off with it, and then years later you're walking down the street and you see it and you're like, dude, that's my coat, and you just like grab it and you put it back on? Well, that's what Smithy feels like with double buffs, because he's kind of let Gragas hold them for a while and said, well, you know what, Mandatory Cloud, your life was worth it because I got my buffs back, and Mandatory Cloud's just like, screw you, Smithy, don't feed them in my lane anymore. So hopefully Smithy's going to keep those on himself for a very long time, although I don't think he's quite running the extended buff duration mastery like all junglers used to. I think that was like even in a lot of guides. It's like, well, you need this mastery because as a jungler you need to keep this, and then people realize the utility mastery tree sucked. So nobody's doing that yet. But St. Vicious looking for a gank again on a Mandatory Cloud. I don't think he's really going to be pushing up too much further just because of how strong he recognizes Boy to be. There's the explosive cast.
Nice explosive cast, and that is going to be one very, very dead Mandatory Cloud. Yep, last headbutt from Voyboy, able to pick up that kill. Great explosive cast, and holding him down with Twisted Advance. There was just nothing the Mandatory Cloud could do about it. Top lane, X-Smithy came in for a gank and died.
Oh,
yes! Zuna able to pick up that kill just barely. Red buff and Ignite between the two of those, just enough DPS to take him out under tower, and now they may decide to push down this top tower so Shen can roam a little bit more. No, they are just going to let Westrise lose all of this farm.
Wow, that's like 2 waves and a cannon minion. So it's hella CS and also the experience from cannon minion. That's about 100 experience he's just not going to have. So it's going to be a little bit rough for Westrise, who actually had to burn both of his summoners early on and even used Ignite in that situation, trying to pick up a kill. But oh, Voyboy's going to try to avoid the wards. He actually is in a huge position here.
Yes, he is. Muffin Cutie gets burnt down. There's the Q and the resonating strike. It lands, and he's able to get that kill there. Now Zuna and Aphromoo are here. Ooh, nice bit of burst on Aphromoo, and Voyboy actually going back in with the body slam. He has been slowed, but Voyboy is all alone with Zuna and Aphromoo. There is the taunt out. Here comes Requiem, though. What is that summoner heal from Cop going to keep him alive? Aphromoo forced to burn cleanse. Now Elements in a bad spot. X-Smithy going to throw down. Nope, going to allow Aphromoo to have that with the last auto attack. And now Curse going to have to back away from this one. They are not in a very good position. Great Requiem for Mandatory Cloud.
And you can see both teams kind of baiting that back and forth. You're like, oh, well, we have an extra person coming in. Voyboy's just around the corner. He comes in and like, well, we have an extra person. And then Nunu comes in. And then the Karthus Requiem comes in. And, well, that's the one-up that's Fear needed. But it does look like Westrise deep in the enemy jungle. Going to throw down a ward and start in here onto this blue buff. And surely Fear knows that that is vulnerable.
First on Aphromoo. All it will take is one last auto attack. And nope, maybe 2. Not quite able to get it. There's the body slam, but that may have put him in a bad position because there's the Ice Blast from X-Smithy. He is in a bad way. Yep, the Cathian surprise from Aphromoo for the revenge kill.
I would say Cathian.
Yep, up with the blue buff. Westrise dueling Zuna, and Westrise definitely getting the worst end of this. Here comes St. Vicious to potentially turn this around, though. There's Twisted Advance on the Arcane Smash to save Westerise's life. Westrise had health potions burning the whole time, and it looks like he will be able to get out of there okay. No Requiem available from Karthus. He did burn it during the engagement down in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and that's a little bit rough. Ping's going on to Dragon, though, so could actually see this come out from Fear. It's pinged, it's been cleared with Oracles, and Oracles on Smithy really early. Went for double gold for 5s, but with no Philosopher's Stone, actually going Cage's lucky pick instead. I think I actually just started calling it Cage's instead of Kage's, because that's how
It's Cage. It is actually Cage's. It's a reference to...
Yeah, It's funny because, you know, it's a joke. Not really, though. Anyways, this will be an early Dragon at the 10-minute mark. Going to go down at just about 10:09. So a really early Dragon, at least by, well, what we've been seeing in all of these games. So going to be a lot of early gold for Fear. That's going to give them about a 1,500 gold advantage, at least at this point in the game. That's a really strong advantage for, well, it only being about 10 minutes through. And I gotta say, as far as the builds are concerned, Aphromu's actually gone for a Wriggles early on to just make sure he CS's as much as humanly possible, and also give him a lot of defensive stats because he keeps getting dived on, wants to be able to defend against a lot of the early attack damage coming out from not only the ganks from elements, but also should Westrise decide to roam, that's going to be a lot of pain, and helps him trade a little bit more favorably versus Cop. It's a little bit like, it's kind of an old school build. You used to see, what was it? It was like triple Doran's Wriggles Last Whisper on Misfortune, and you just couldn't trade with it because it was so much damage, so much tankiness, and then you realize that having BF swords and Phantom Dancers is pretty cool, and thus the meta evolves. But it looks like Aphromu taking a little bit of a page out of yesteryear's book and picking that one up, looking for a lot of more lane presence, but is it actually going to help him get that much farther ahead? It looks like there's 3 people from Curse down here, St. Vicious, Cop, and Elements, and will Aphromu be able to survive this?
Muffin Cutie is right around the corner, might be able to turn this around, spots St. Vicious, and so St. Vicious isn't going to be able to go in. Whoop, Resonating Strike in. Actually, it didn't actually deal its damage. Elements W'd out just a little bit too quickly. No, they don't want to engage just after seeing Muffin Cutie, but in the meantime, mid lane Mandatory Cloud getting chunked down. Zuna coming down for the gank, and now here's the Requiem, though. Is he going to be able to get the revenge on Voyboy? Ignite is ticking. No! Voyboy will survive. Now Zuna has put himself in a bad spot. Absolutely, you're going to slow down St. Vicious and Westrise. Westrise running for his life now, but the only damage left is on Xmithy. Zuna way too low to get back in there, but here's Muffin Cutie, lands the snare, and Xmithy with the Ice Blast, getting the kill for himself. 2, 1, and 3 for Xmithy. Not something you usually see on Nunu.
Yeah, it's a 1-for-1 ratio on that Ice Blast, and with 25 AP from Cage's lucky pick, is able to pick with that one up, and a really great job there by Muffin Cutie. Excellent positioning, getting the CC down necessary for Smithy to kind of zoom in there, pick up the kill. So that's going to make it 5-7, and already the gold count continuing to widen here for Fierce. So they've done a really good job about just having great positioning, and I mean, besides Aphromu having some issues down there in the bottom lane, he's 2-2. Karthus is actually 0-3, not something characteristic of Mandatory Cloud, but he's kind of in that, you know, like buy and die phase where he just CS's all the minions. If he dies, then that sucks, but he's going to be able to still buy out these items because he has a Rod of Ages. That's going to scale up and make his mid game as strong as humanly possible, but I guess he's not human, but you know, you get the idea. He's going to get really, I guess so, but looks like Voyboy going to go over and possibly get his blue buff, and I think that, yeah, Curse knows where Muffin Cutie is right now, or at least they surmise that he could be over on that side of the jungle. Don't really think they're in a huge risk of losing this buff, so just going to kind of take it easy and allow Voyboy to pick that one up. I haven't really seen a whole lot of buffs on Karthus. They've been kind of like zooming around the field on a bunch of random people, but with Lee Sin coming bottom and Darius starting to play aggressive versus Zuna, I wish they kind of surprised to see that because Westrise is having a really rough time here, just trying to harass him down. It looks like the next bit of aggression probably going to be bottom lane as, I mean, Voyboy's shoving that lane out so that he can go roam somewhere else, and Nunu heading down there as well.
Yeah, he does have oracles. He sees that there are no wards. There's one in the bush, though, but he doesn't care at this point. Going to run in on Cop. There is the Ice Blast. Nice Valkyrie away, and here's St. Vicious to try and save his life. Grasping root to miss, and thanks to a flash from Cop. And the Strangled Thorns, I don't think it's going to be enough. Muffin Cutie in a bad way. Xmithy is not going to be able to help Muffin Cutie. A Dragon Kick from onto Muffin Cutie is going to allow Cop to pick up that kill, but here is Voyboy. Throws out the explosive cast and chunk Aphromu into the wall. Elements getting that kill. Now Xmithy is next target. St. Vicious tanks up the tower, no problem. That is a 3-for-0 gank going in the favor of Curse. And that is what Curse really, really needed right now. We see the gold gap has finally closed. And we were talking earlier about the sort of late game potential that Fear has. But when Gragas is 5-2, honestly, I'd say that's not too bad. And I think Voyboy may be able to make up for the lack of late game on Curse.
Yeah, definitely. If you get ahead enough, fast enough, then late game doesn't really matter because the other team's just able to snowball their game to victory. But and this is the really rough thing about being a Karthus right now is just going for Rod of Ages because he needs as much effectiveness as possible. But when you're dying over and over, and then allowing the person you die to roam and make have such a huge presence and get kills all over the map, that really kind of hurts your ability to make plays, slows down your game, and really allows Curse the opportunity to speed things up and do everything he needs to.
Oh,
a lot of trading top lane.
Yeah, Zuna going for the kill in top lane. Here comes the Requiem. Ignite is ticking, and there's the last Whirlpool Blade. Zuna getting the health proc just to pick up that kill. That's going to help him out a lot in lane. No, he does get the kill in the meantime. Mid lane, Mandatory Cloud getting jumped on. There's the ult from Shen to keep him alive. Ignite is ticking. No! Lives with just under 50 health, and they might decide to counter-engage on this. No, Cop and Voyboy are out of there. Mandatory Cloud is having such a hard game. He is 0-3-4. Even with those Requiems, he only has 4 assists and no kills for himself. This is not where you want to be as a Karthus.
Well, I mean, if he were getting kills with that, then, I mean, he'd be worth a lot more gold. But as is, A, he lived, B, he was able to help Shen get a kill there in that top lane. And really, if Fear can get Shen huge enough, fast enough, then that's going to start, really, they just have 3 late game heroes. I mean, if Shen gets super tanky, he can split push with Impunita because he just goes to whatever lane, he's stronger than his laning opponent, and he just sits there and pushes it out and has enough disengage to run away so that they don't kill him. And so if Zuna gets really huge, then that's not going to be an issue. If Aphromoo gets really huge, then you're just going to explode. And Mandatory Cloud kind of having a rough game is relying on both of those, but there's the ultimate coming out from Gragas.
Yep, the snare comes down onto Voyboy, though. He might be in trouble. He body slams over the wall. No, he flashed away, excuse me. The body slam was not available at the moment, so he had to flash away. But this is okay for Curse because Dragon has spawned about 20 seconds ago. I do not know if Fear actually had a timer on that, or even if they had vision of the fact that Curse had taken, or that Dragon was down. Who did get the first Dragon? Refresh my memory rapid.
That was Fear. They took it really, really early.
Yeah, that's right. It was the 8-minute Dragon, thanks to the sustained damage output from Mandatory Cloud. But yeah, Fear just did not have the response. Zuna was up in top. Xmithy was moving up into his own jungle, and they just didn't feel strong enough to contest that Dragon.
But wow, actually, Zuna getting jumped on there by Westrise, who's actually doing a surprising amount of damage to somebody who's so tanky. But, I mean, Zuna's going to be able to CS that away and sustain with the Vorpal Blade, so I don't think he's too worried about that. With Nunu coming in mid lane, it looks like they could go for some pressure here. The turret goes down, but Nunu recognizes, you know what, probably not the people I want to go in on when Corki has 166 AD, and, well, you're a squishy little Nunu, and the only assistance you're going to get from your team is a Mandatory Cloud with a Rod of Ages and Stork Shoes. So that's going to be something that Nunu really does not want to experience. But Voyboy actually walking around all over these Fear wards, just kind of Fear wars. Now that would be an awesome item, but Fear's wards rather, revealing him. So it's going to keep goes to Zuna safe for now, goes back, picks up Sunfire Cape, so he's looking for split pushing extremely quickly as he's really starting to outscale this Darius. Westrise had a really rough early game that's kind of transitioning into this late game, making the split pushing from Fear really something that Curse is going to have to deal with sooner or later, because as we start to lose turrets across the board, I mean, it's 1-2 right now in favor of Curse, but it could go the other way just depending on how key or how good Fear is at forcing team fights and forcing Darius's presence elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, right now, Fear, they're in a really good position because both top towers are still up, but Shen, he is going to be able to teleport over in case something goes wrong, but ooh, Cop might be here. Nope, Zuna going to be able to shadow dash away. St. Vicious was moving up as well. Are they going to go for the tower dive? There is a response from Fear. Xmithy and Muffin Cutie might be looking for the counter gank. Zuna in a decent position right now. He might decide to try and bait this. Mandatory Cloud and Muffin Cutie are there as well. Aphromoo has been left in mid. Elements and Voyboy are here. Aphromoo might actually be in a heap of trouble. There's the body slam in. Explosive cast pushes him away from tower. Here's the Stand United from Shen, though. And Aphromoo flashes under tower. Dragon kicks him away, but that's
the taunt lands.
Elements. Great shadow dash from Zuna. And nope. Oh, there was the Vorpal Blade there to pick up the kill. At first, I thought that the Living Artillery was going to be able to do it, but no, Zuna throwing in the Vorpal Blade. He is going to be able to get that Ionic Spark that much faster. Uh-oh, you know, top lane, Mandatory Cloud holding this tower down pretty well. Wall of Pain to slow down the minions. Not much that Cop and Westrise can do at this moment.
Now, technically, Karthus is behind because he doesn't have the 5 kills that Voyboy has, but he's still equally in CS, so still a really impressive Karthus. He's going to be key because his ultimate's still going to be really effective, but something to note is that you have to have 2 things for Shen to be effective.
Well, another thing to note, sorry, is Cop. Yeah, Cop getting jumped on. Nice apprehend from Westrise, going to chunk Nunu down, forcing the flash out, but that Sunfire cable, make sure that he has enough armor to get on out of there. In the meantime, mid lane, explosive cast onto Aphromoo. Aphromoo just having a bad time. 4th death of the game, and now it looks like Voyboy wants to chase down X-Smith. The explosive cask is not available. Muffin Cutie misses the snare, but he does get slowed by those plants. The grasping roots growing the seeds up into those slow plants. Nice utility from Muffin Cutie there, but Voyboy with the body slam and blue buff. That body slam is on a 4.27 second cooldown. 4.25 second cooldown on a reposition is incredibly powerful, and as long as they can keep blue buff on Voyboy, he is just going to be immense. He has 6 kills, 3 assists, Athene's on Holy Grail. He currently has 1.7k in his pocket, going to go back and get at least a blasting wand, if not a needlessly large rod, fairly soon.
Now a lot of pressure going in onto this top lane. Azuna and the Mandatory Cloud joined by Muffin Cutie going to try to pressure that off, but things just so huge here for Curse. Voyboy just massive there coming out of the mid lane with 6 and 2. He's just dominated his lane both this game and the last game, and both with Gragas. So you can see Smithy wants to go in there. Barrel coming out a little bit prematurely. Smithy cannot go that way because he doesn't want to, take an explosive cask for no reason and then possibly die. But Voyboy's just going to back out. He does actually have explosive cask up and is doing a monstrous job at CSing that wave. He is at 172 CS with 6 and 2. He has the highest gold in the game, sitting with 400 currently. Nobody else even close to that. I think everybody on Fear at least 2k gold below. So really big discrepancy there. And once again, it's the same problem as the last game. Fear have to find a way to deal with Voyboy. He's just completely exploding Aphromoo right after another. And I don't know if if Fear can handle that, then that's great. I mean, Shen's massive. He's going to be able to do whatever he wants all over the map, and I don't think there's anything Westrise is going to be able to do it. You can just see he's getting bullied just like right and left. Has max stacks of hemorrhage. Doesn't even care, continues to go in, chasing Westrise down. Sooner or later, Zuna's going to have to back off and heal up, and he will do that. But Curse they have strengths and they have weaknesses, and it's interesting because they're exactly complementary, so it's kind of a yin-yang kind of symbol here, because the split push, the one-on-one is going really well for Fear because Shen is so fed, but the 4-on-4 is going really well for Curse. So I still think that favors Curse, but you're going to have to start dealing with split pushing. And I think they can have the tools to do it, but oh my goodness, Voyboy trying to go in on Muffin Cutie, but a perfect snare from Zyra keeps that from being a kill.
Yeah, that's one of the powers of Zyra, is not only can she create initiations, but she can stop initiations. That being said, if someone steps a little bit too close, if Cop gets just a little bit too close, the snare is going to go down, and that is going to allow Mandatory Cloud to land. Wow, that explosive caster, or not explosive cast, the barrel roll hurts, but that's going to allow Mandatory Cloud to land lay waste after lay waste, and that is going to chunk down whoever she decides to land that snare on. Voyboy looking a little bit confident here. Doesn't have a ward to lay down in that bush, but Dragon has spawned just about 20 seconds ago, and Curse are looking to take it away from Fear without too much contest.
Yeah, and I really think that Curse doesn't have anything to worry about here. I mean, short of like Shen dashing over the wall and stealing it with a Vorpal Strike, well, that's not even going to happen because he's all the way back in base. I mean, Nunu not really going to give up that Oracles for Dragon. I mean, I guess technically it would be worth it, but just barely. And then even then it'd be global gold and really screwing Nunu over because he would lose that. So I'm just going to give that up. That will be second Dragon in a row going over to a Curse. And so they're going to pick that one up at 23-14. We'll be up in about 6 minutes. So around the 30-minute mark, so looking for that there. But actually, you're going to have to stop the split push. So Curse having to run all the way up to the top lane. Goes to Zuna, needs to run. He's going to dash out of there, but will he be able to back in time? I really hope he has that spec into the mastery, but a little bit of questionability here from Curse. Is that even a word? I don't know, but they're questioning whether or not you just go to top lane and try to stop that. Do you go Baron? Do you try to go back and sort of exert some pressure? Smithy going to get jumped on. No real damage yet, and Curse just going to have to back out. They took Dragon, so they have that advantage, but it's still really, really close. 7-11 in kills. Same situation we found ourselves in last game, and this was the kind of the tipping point, the 7-11 scoreline, where Curse just exploded. It had a huge, huge presence. This game, much difference just because of how huge Shen is for Fear.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the global gold 32.6 to 36.6, 4K gold advantage in the favor of Curse, and it looks like because of the oracles on Saint Vicious, they see that there are no wards, but uh-oh, Xmithy getting jumped on, so is Voyboy. Muffin Cutie dropped dangerously low. Voyboy and Elements just trying to stall for Curse so they can take this Baron, but they may be leading them into this Baron. Wow, Muffin Cutie almost getting completely destroyed by the barrel roll. Voyboy wants this kill, but he's not going to get it. Fear, a mandatory cloud getting ulted by Darius. Noxie and Guillotine is huge. Here comes the Requiem. Muffin Cutie will fall. Elements getting chunked down. Yep, and he is able to pick up Voyboy with that Requiem, and that has effectively stopped the Baron from Curse in a 2-for-1 exchange, still coming out in the favor of Curse. But that being said, Mandatory Cloud was able to pick up his first kill of the game. He has 1.1k gold in his pocket, going to be able to get Rabadon's death cap very, very soon here, and as soon as he does, I think we're going to see this game go very, very differently than it has been so far.
Yeah, really, really big plays there from Fear. What they did is they sent Mandatory Cloud in to die. So that's great because he's 0-4. So when he dies, you get as much gold as you get for killing somebody who is 0-4. Then he picks up the kill after it, getting a killing spree bonus. So he gets a lot of gold. The other team gets almost no gold. So it's totally worth it for Mandatory Cloud to run in there, deny Baron or that Baron attempt from Curse, and also turn that around into a kill. So really great job there by Mandatory Cloud, recognizing, well, when it's your time to die, it's not quite like euthanasia because you come back afterwards and you're even stronger. So I mean, I'd be supporting that policy if I could do that. I guess that's kind of like say in healthcare. It's like, well, you die but you come back stronger because what doesn't kill you only makes you that way. So it looks like Smithy's gonna go in there, clear out the wards for Fear, and that's gonna be a little bit of the reverse situation as now Fear has the ward coverage advantage there onto the Baron, but Saint Vicious says, okay, well, we're gonna do the same thing, and the Baron dance thus begins, as I don't really think it's going to be taken quite per se just because of how big the Ghost Uzuna split pushing is, and even with red buff, that just makes it even that much stronger. There's no way that they can send Westrise to deal with him, so they're going to have to send either Voyboy or Cop, but I really even feel like Cop may have a really rough time because without that much armor penetration, yeah, he's just sitting at the 6/10 from Masteries, and so that's really not going to be able to get through Ghost Uzuna right now. Look at how far the wave is pushing for Fear down to that bottom lane, but a big power play looking to be made on the blue buff here against Fear.
Yeah, poor blue buff. Gonna go ahead and get apprehended over the wall. And that point that you make about Cop not having armor penetration is especially important because Mandatory Cloud has just bought a Zhonya's Hourglass. He is really looking to just stay alive as long as possible, get as much defile damage down before he inevitably falls. He hasn't gotten as built as he really wants to, and so to compensate for that, that Zhonya's is really going to help him out. That being said, he's not going to have the damage, not going for that zombie Karthus that we see a lot of the time, waiting on that Rabadon's for a little while, and it looks like Curse has indeed started up this Baron. The response is a little bit slow from Fear. Baron is a little bit over half health. They're going to turn onto Mandatory Cloud. Here comes the ultimate from Shen. Xmithy getting bursted down. Noxie and Guillotine is not there, but there is the taunt on Elements and Westrise. Voyboy getting dangerous a little bit. He's still able to do a lot. There's the Zhonya's being popped by Mandatory Cloud, and he's going to continue doing damage. Fear, Mandatory Cloud, not looking good right now. Zuna gets the taunt on the Cop, and Afromu's gonna rip through him.
Oh my goodness, Afromu.
The red buff is applied on him as well. Their Requiem going down onto Saint Vicious, and he is going to fall. Triple kill for Afromu. 5-for-1 ace in the favor of Fear, and they want to go for this Baron. They are so very low, but the damage output from Afromu right now is huge. He has Wriggles, he has Eye Hedge, and he has a Zeal. That Wriggles is going to help them clear out this Baron without a problem. Fear picking up the first Baron of the game.
perfect decision making by Fear there in that team fight. You can see Shen was split pushing, so Curse is like, okay, well, we either have to stop the split push, which is kind of like losing because you have to go all the way down there, and then that leaves Fear in the driver's seat to possibly take a Baron, or you pressure an objective and force Shen to ult out. Well, when they went in there to pressure that objective, Shen didn't really have a problem ulting out because of the great positioning that Fear had in that situation. The not quite zombie Karthus, as you called it earlier, just mandatory cloud walking in there, Zhonyaing at the perfect time. Zhonyaing, I guess that's a verb or a gerund, I guess. Is that a gerund or a noun? I'm not sure, but regardless of whether or not that is the part of grammar that I thought it was, really great positioning from Fear there, because once mandatory cloud went in, you had immaculate peel for Aphromoo. He had perfect micro there with the cleanse in the last fight. Didn't even have to flash, and that was probably the best part of that, because the peel was so huge. Muffin Cutie just staying on his back and just snaring everybody off there, just able to sit in the back, picking up that triple kill during the team fight, and now it looks like, oh my god.
Yep, Fear completely collapsing on St. Vicious, and he will collapse in on himself. So much pressure from Fear. That was just a huge mistake from St. Vicious. There's the flash and taunt him, but Cop, he does get taunted, but he flashes away. They are flashing in after him, though. There's the absolute zero. Cop is going to fall. Aphromoo going to pick up the kill on Voyboy. The main damage output of Curse is gone, and now Elements is going to fall as well. Westrise not even a part of that fight. He is just going to have to sit back and watch his tower fall. Inhibitor is certainly next. Fear looking to be really powerful. This is precisely what I was talking about. Certainly, it wasn't exactly the Rabadons that I called for, but now that Mandatory Cloud is really building up his core build, things are just not going well at all for Curse. On top of that, it really doesn't help when your Maokai gets caught out under his inner tower.
Yeah, that was a little bit rough. I recall watching, I think it was one of the very early MLGs that V8 was playing in, and Unstoppable X is clearing out bottom lane as Dr. Mundo, and he just walks all the way down there by himself. He's clearing out the wave, and then all of a sudden 4 people appear, kill him off, and then the other team proceeds to win the game. And you're just like, why on earth were you down there by yourself when you knew the entire enemy team was MIA? And kind of the same question I have to ask for St. Vicious, and then after he got picked off, it just kept going more and more badly for Curse. So you got to know that's they feel kind of rough right now, because this is their shot at IEM Cologne. If they lose this game, they're just not going. After actually going back in a very bad position, and now kind of the same thing as the 4-man hit squad here for Curse. Goes over to check Dragon, but it's okay. Yeah, Aphromoo is going to get out. They weren't hunting quite yet, and so Aphromoo is going to get out there, take down this red buff. He actually should pick that up. Yeah, so he's going to grab that. Zuna is going to go back along with Aphromoo and Smithy, and the gold on this team is huge. Let's look at what they do pick up. You're going to see Kog'Maw actually go ahead, spend 2,500 gold, grabbing that last Whisper, and a very Baron-friendly team. That's one of the great things about having Kog'Maw. Not only do you get percentage damage on Baron, but with that Wriggles, you're also going to get the high attack speed, proccing that Wriggles over and over again. 8 and 4 Kog'Maw, and like you said earlier, it's pretty much 3 carries here on Fear. It's Kog'Maw, Karthus, and Shen. Karthus had a really rough early game, feeding Voyboy a lot, but Aphromoo and Zuna kind of picked up the slack. First, it was Zuna just getting huge, getting a ton of kills, and then Aphromoo picking up a triple in that Baron fight, just going so huge. Excuse me, and now that's, well, they are where they are. Darius looking to get caught out in the top lane.
Yeah, there's the Ice Blast, not going to be able to do much. I definitely agree with you. They've been up. What Fear has been able to do is essentially catch out a single target. We see here, obviously, Cobb not doing necessarily as well as maybe he should, especially compared to Aphromoo. The only person that really has enough farm to say that he has fed is Voyboy. But look at the pick from Fear. They have the Grasping Roots from Muffin Cutie. They have the Ice Ball from Xmithy, and then of course you have the Shadow Dash from Zuna. It's huge. They essentially can pick one target and finish him off, and since Voyboy is such a huge portion of Curse's damage, it all just disappears as soon as Voyboy dies, and now St. Vicious might be in a bit of trouble. They are chasing down onto him. Wall of Pain goes out as well. Mandatory Cloud tanking that tower might not want to be doing that. Nope, he's going to be able to get away. He has a very tanky tree with that Glacial Shroud, Aegis of the Legion, and Shirelias. Plus Heart of Gold.
Yeah, well, you gotta add the Heart of Gold in there, because I mean, really, what else matters? So, yeah, I mean, you gotta buy the item while you still can. It's like limited edition. How many can you buy before it is gone forever?
Oh, St. Vicious getting picked off Afremu just ripping through him. Now he has changed targets to elements. He falls very quickly. Now Westrice getting knocked up by the Stranglethorns. Xmithy flashing in, looking for the Ice Blast. It goes on to St. Vicious, and I think he may fall here. Nope, they are going to be forced to back off. Voyboy is here, but this inner tower may fall. Mandatory Cloud being turned down very low. Nice apprehend, and the dunk onto Muffin Cutie, picking him up, and now St. Vicious has been killed by Afremu. Still, though, they trade Xmithy for it. Now Afremu able to kill Voyboy, but Cop finishing him off. Mandatory Cloud getting the, I believe, 600 gold bonus for shutting down Cop. Or no, I'm not quite certain where he got all that gold. Who got that 600 gold? The Mandatory Cloud, either way, 5 for 3 ace in the favor of Fear. And now I'm not quite certain what Mandatory Cloud is doing. No, he
walking on the Nexus turret.
They want to finish this. And they might be able to. Elements is the only one alive. It's 21 seconds left on Westrice and St. Vicious. Elements doesn't have the sort of itemization that he needs. Sonya's out from Mandatory Cloud. Zuna is going to finally turn on Elements. Misses the taunt flashing from Elements. And Mandatory Cloud may indeed fall. Yes, he does. But Ignite ticks. That is going to be a dead Element as well. Zuna still pushing this down. 3 seconds left on St. Vicious and Westrice. Zuna is hitting the Nexus. Here comes St. Vicious. Shirelia's being burnt. Looking for the twisted advance. Yes, it does land. Arcane Smash goes down as well. Westrice with the apprehend. Nice. Last second flash from Zuna. He's going to be able to get away. Second Arcane Smash lands, but the Shadow Dash comes out. St. Vicious not going to be able to catch this one.
Yeah, you gotta look to the defense tree. 8.1% cooldown reduction, allowing that Shadow Dash to be off cooldown a lot faster than I thought it was going to be. Maybe surprising even St. Vicious there, but really great twisted advance there. I did not think that was gonna latch, but it caught Shen. It had a great possibility, but flashing the apprehend was kind of the outplay in that situation. As ooh, it looks like Smithy not in a great position here. Gonna ice ball Cobb and then try to run away. The grasping roots comes out, and will Muffin Cutie be able to turn this round? Afremu comes in. St. Vicious looks for the jump in there, but not going to be able to get it. Goes down. Afremu just way too big to be stopped. Picks up a Guardian Angel after that triple kill, and in the last fight, it was actually Cop that got the 600 gold for shutting down Afremu after he had gotten his 11th kill, and now things going horribly here for Curse. They're going to lose another inhibitor. Zuna trying to jump in there. He's huge. He doesn't actually take damage anymore, and once that he starts to get to the position, it's like, well, that's kind of an effective strategy. It's like Fear is like, okay, well, we're going to get to the point where we don't take damage, and then we're gonna win.
Elements getting caught out over the wall. No, Voyboy is able to pick up Muffin Cutie, overextending. Now Zuna popping the Randuin's Omen, trying to stay alive, but no, Westrice able to pick up that. Afremu going to turn on Westrice. He does not have anything to slow him, so he may be able to get away. No, here comes the Requiem! Summoner heal from Cop keeps Westrice alive. Only barely, though. Now, Mandatory Cloud has caught Elements out of position. Wall of Pain actually does apply the slow, and he may be in a lot of trouble here. There comes Defile. Afremu with the last auto attack, able to pick up that kill. Now, Voyboy is sitting here alongside Cop to defend this inhibitor, but there's not much they can do, I think. Oh, no, here comes Westrice. Afremu in a tight spot, throws down the slow puddle, but Cop gets chunked down by Afremu. There is the snare on him, though. Guardian Angel is going to be burnt. Mandatory Cloud popping the Zillions in the last second to keep himself alive. Afremu respawns, but he is going to get taken down very quickly. But Voyboy falls because he stayed in there too long. He hit the surprise on Cop. He's barely going to survive this. Ooh, Mandatory Cloud able to get 2 kills off of that even after he died, but still, that is going to be a 5 for 3 in the favor of Curse. Very, very nice defense from Curse right there. Able to keep Voyboy alive just long enough to put out the damage that he needed to alongside Cop. Cop survived during that whole time.
Can you say that was in favor of Curse, though? They lost an inhibitor. They lost both Nexus turrets, and now all Fear really has to do is walk to Baron, kind of tap it gently on the shoulder, and when Kog'Maw does that, it's basically just going to capitulate and fall over, and I don't really think that that's really going to be a big issue for Fear, taking that Baron, shoving out the lanes, and then just walking back to, oh wait, there's an open inhibitor bottom that's at half health. Of course, that's going to heal up a little bit over time, but I mean, there's the split pushing option that is still available because Shen, just now taking that red buff, is going to be able to stick to, well, whoever basically he wants. As a Trinity Force instead of going for a Frozen Mallet, so that's something you see more traditionally on Shen's because, well, when you go for the Frozen Mallet, you have a guaranteed slow as well as it allowing the health to stack up, which does help your Vorpal Blade stack up because it does have 1.5% of his max health as far as the healing is concerned. So going for a little bit more damaging build because he realized he doesn't have problems with tankiness. Like, he is stupidly tanky right now, just barely getting caught out and picked off there as soon as Cobb comes in. Now with that last Whisper, that's actually what's doing a lot of the damage, along with those Hextech Shrapnel Shells that do deal 10% true damage to Shen, but goes to Zuna, gonna go starting with the split pushings, and as he starts with that, Fear is gonna look to start with this Baron, although it does not look like Curse wants to give this up, and this is not something they should be fighting. I don't really think they have a lot of options against this, because when Shen is pushing in onto your Nexus, and you have to send at least 2 people to stop him, there's no way Westrise is gonna be able to kill Shen right now. He's just gonna walk on to that inhibitor, take it down, and then kill Westrise one right after another, while Fear starts this Baron. They don't even have to start the Baron right now. They have Curse split. They know that they're going to be able to get this. Zuna actually fighting Westrise. Look at this damage.
Yeah, there's just nothing the Westrise can do. The damage put a 2 huge Hex Trigger getting burned, but here comes Requiem! Mandatory Cloud gets the kill, and Westrise no heal from Cop to keep him alive this time, and now there is nothing that Curse is going to be able to do to stop this Baron if they decide to start it. Zuna, yep, taking out the inhibitor, and now Cop and St. Vicious have both back, but with both of them there, they may be able to take Baron. No, Zuna uses his ultimate, get over to the fight, stopped by Arcane Smash. They're actually going to be able to take him down. That being said, Fear has started this Baron. Mandatory Cloud is over the wall to keep Boy Boy away. Wall of Pain lands. Nice living artillery going to find Boy Boy. Not sure. Oh, Aframu doing a ton of damage from over the wall thanks to that Bio Arcane Barrage. Mandatory Cloud keeping him at bay. He gets a kill on Element. Now Avramu from over the wall, hitting Boy Boy. No, his ult is not going to land. Baron has fallen. X-Smithy able to get that one, and St. Vicious going in there trying to get the Smite Seal. Not going to get it. Now Boy Boy might be in a teensy bit of trouble. Still, though, he has blue buff, and he has his body slam. It looks like he's just going to have to back off into a bush and recall, but that is going to leave the Nexus open. Fear looking like they want to finish this game. St. Vicious is down. Elements is down. Zuna is the only one dead on Fear. He's not going to be able to be there for this fight, but Cop, wow, can he chunk down? Wow, man, Aframu's damage on Boy Boy is massive. Here comes the absolute zero from X-Smithy. Cop able to get out of there just in time, but the Nexus will fall. Fear taking this best of 3 set, and they will move on to the next bracket.
So congratulations to Fear with a 30-25 victory, 10-3, and Turret's just crushing through that game. Aframo huge, and Shen as well. I mean, Ghost Zuna only had 4 kills, but with 15 assists and 200 CS, the split pushing monsters just continue to draw Curse out of position, going ahead winning that game. This is single elimination, guys. Fear is moving on to the semifinals. They will be going up against, well, I'll have to check the bracket for that, but Curse is out of the tournament. Curse cannot go to IEM Cologne now. It's all up to Fear to continue that hope as they do progress throughout the brackets. So that was actually a huge victory for Fear, as they are now 1 step closer to going to IEM Cologne. So we're going to go ahead, update the brackets, and check out exactly where everybody is. We'll go ahead and throw those your way when we come back. We're going to be moving on to the next series. We may switch out